Suddenly, a cheer came from the upper boundary of the Jiang family. It's the young miss. The young miss has returned. As the words fell, a jade foot gently touched the ground. The young miss must have obtained the immortal fruit. Now Patriarch can be saved. Upon seeing the figure of Jiang Yuchang, the guards outside the door also bowed to Yuchang. They respectfully welcomed the young miss, but Yuchang didn't have time to acknowledge them, and walked straight ahead. I want to see the family head. Inside the house, several Jiang family disciples sat cross-legged, absorbing the energy from the light spheres. Seeing this scene again, Jiang Yuchang couldn't help but worry. There is not much energy left in the lower realm for disciples to cultivate. I wonder if the Jiang family can seize the 9-state continent this time, but if that true body is reincarnated, they should be able to succeed in seizing it. After all this lower realm energy is her spoils of war. But soon, Jiang Yuchang arrived in the main hall. Respectfully, she presented the immortal fruit to the front, and on that throne sat the Jiang family head. She waved her hand, and the immortal fruit fell into her hand. How come there's only one fruit? Isn't there a whole immortal tree in the lower realm? With your strength, how did you only obtain one fruit? Yuchang, you should know that one immortal fruit is not enough to extend Patriarch's life. I had great expectations of you. Hearing the displeased questioning from the family head, Jiang Yuchang felt even more anxious and uneasy. Family head, let me explain the situation in the 9-state in detail to you. Upon hearing Yuchang's explanation, the Jiang family head expressed astonishment. Creating immortals barehanded? That's right, it's Chinchanan, the owner of the immortal fruit. Overnight, he created 2 immortals and 4 half-immortals. When I met him, I didn't know his identity, and I tried to intimidate him with the aura of an immortal, but he ruthlessly crushed me, completely disregarding me. If it weren't for my quick thinking, I might not have come back. It seems that this person is indeed extraordinary. Even immortal venerables may not be able to create immortals barehanded, let alone people from the lower realm. Yuchang, the Xuanwu immortal domain is in turmoil. How can our Jiang family stand firm in the midst of this turmoil? This is a critical moment. I have a new mission for you. If you can obtain the immortal fruit from him, it proves that he has a good impression of you. Find a way to continue obtaining the immortal fruit to save Patriarch's life. Secondly, our Jiang family's most outstanding heavenly arrogance has been out of contact with us for a long time. I need you to find her. I will imprint her guardian immortal's mark on you. You will sense it when you encounter her. After receiving the mission assigned by the family head, Yuchang also respectfully bowed. Yuchang will do his best to complete the mission. Meanwhile, the Slaying Heaven were speaking arrogantly in the main hall. The minions outside hurriedly approached to inquire, but all they received was endless anger. That beast! How dare a mere lower realm trash insult me? I will definitely slaughter the 9-state continent. And the little brother, after hearing his big brother's incompetence and rage, was greatly shocked. He didn't expect the arrogant 9th prince to actually encounter obstacles. Slaying Heaven suddenly smirked incessantly. Chinchanan, the ruler of the 9-state, my most precious 3 divine beings were actually destroyed by you. Get ready. I will reincarnate into the lower realm and personally kill this person. Upon hearing that his good big brother wanted to do such a brainless thing, Slaying Heaven's little brother became extremely anxious. Big brother, please think twice. Reincarnation of the true body is different from splitting the soul. In the lower realm, if the soul is destroyed, the true body still exists. But if the true body is destroyed, then it's really dead. It cannot even enter the cycle of reincarnation. You are now the prince with the best chance of ascending the throne in the Xuanwu immortal domain. Please don't joke about your own life. And Slaying Heaven also realized the reality. Sending out the split soul alone has no effect at all. That Chinchanan's strength is somewhat formidable. He can be said to be invincible in the lower realm. And now, I can only preserve most of my power by reincarnating my true body under the 9-state laws, so that I can personally kill that seed of disaster. You don't need to meddle in my affairs anymore. I have made my decision and I will go and do it. Besides, in 1 year, there will be the Immortal Venerable Successor Selection Conference. I must seize the land of the 9-state to qualify for participation. Just as the little brother wanted to continue dissuading, Slaying Heaven directly stopped him. Your perspective is too narrow. That's why you are the little brother and I am your big brother. If I can win 100%, why should I hold back? You should remember, anyone who could potentially threaten you must be eliminated from the cradle. Hesitation will lead to defeat. At this moment, Slaying Heaven's expression became solemn. I can only become an immortal venerable successor candidate. Then those old foxes will push me to the throne. The land of the 9-state cannot tolerate the slightest mistake. Chinchaman, I have decided on your fate. In the lower realm, news of my severe injuries spread throughout the entire cloud state overnight. The rumors became more and more exaggerated. Have you heard? It is said that the governor of a state transformed into a divine dragon and fought with an upper boundary immortal for 3 days and 3 nights. Although he killed the upper boundary immortal, his life is also in danger. I'm telling you, someone said that the governor of a state is infertile, but in order to protect world peace, they have to marry an upper boundary immortal. What? Could it be that the governor of a state is having an affair with an upper boundary fairy? Listening to the sisters, the more they talk, the more mysterious it becomes. One of the young ladies couldn't tolerate the dissatisfaction in her heart and directly intervened, interrupting them. Stop talking nonsense here. The governor of a state is just severely injured, not dead yet. And those gossiping girls, disgusted by the interruption, left one after another. As for what they were saying about me, I happened to be carefully exploring the whereabouts of those wild chives inside the house, but in the end, it was in vain. Indeed, even with the Heavenly Dao radar, I couldn't find a trace of these little fellows. They are experts in hide and seek. I can only wait for these big brothers to show themselves voluntarily, and my invincible domain has only expanded to a little over 60,000 meters, still far from completely covering the 100,000 mountains, let alone the cloud state. I have no idea how long I'll have to wait. My domain value is simply not enough. My dear chives, come and take the bait willingly. Just as I was worried about my domain value, there suddenly came the sound of rapid footsteps outside the door. Outside the house, a figure was continuously shuttling around outside the various rooms. Which room is he in? Sensing that aura, I couldn't help but smile. This kid is right outside the door. It seems he's looking for an opportunity. After observing repeatedly, that figure confirmed my location. Are they planning to enter through the window? Come on then, let me see if the catch is a big fish. It seems I'll angrily earn 3 million tonight. The person's clumsy footsteps step by step enter my house, and in order to cooperate better, I continued to pretend to be in a state of cultivation, creating a great opportunity for him. But this kid didn't actually attack me. Instead, he kept touching and feeling me. Could it be? Did I encounter some kind of deranged upper boundary psychological case? Just when this kid was becoming more and more outrageous, I didn't plan to continue being harassed like this. You upper boundary heavenly arrogance have gone too far. If you want to kill me, fine, but you also want to defile my innocence? But in the next moment, the figure that came into view made me freeze in place. I didn't expect that. The person who was touching me all over just now turned out to be my wife. Looking at my wife beneath me, I stammered and said, "Wife, why are you here?" After I released her, Jiang Xianchu looked even more aggrieved and said, "I heard you were severely injured, and I was worried, so I came to find you. There are heavy guards outside, and it takes too long to notify them." Before Jiang Xianchu could finish her sentence, she realized it herself, and she started panicking and fumbling around. "Husband, where are you injured? Let me take a look. I'll help you." Seeing my wife, who still wanted to touch me crazily, I quickly stopped her. After all, continuing would lead to another story. Your husband is super strong. A mere heavenly arrogance can't harm me at all. I'm not injured at all. But my wife obviously didn't believe my words. Completely ignoring my resistance, she started forcefully pulling at my clothes. "I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Today, I'm going to thoroughly check you. I'll just take a look. Just one look." Facing my wife's violence, I could only silently resist. Just as Jiang Xianchu continued to look down, her eyes suddenly became dull. A blush rose on her cheeks. The scene fell into silence in an instant. Regarding that object that emitted golden light, Jiang Xianchu also seemed entranced, showing no signs of turning her head away, and I was the first to break the silence. "Quite sudden, isn't it? I also find it quite sudden. Now do you believe?" "I'm fine, but I'm very happy that you came to see me, my wife." Jiang Xuanchu's cheeks were like a ripe apple. "Chinchanan, do you want to enter the bridal chamber?" Upon hearing my refusal once again, Jiang Xianchu turned her head away in disappointment, making a soft sound. But Jiang Xianchu still didn't give up and winked at me, implying, "If you were a heavenly arrogance, I would push you down right now." Looking at my wife with big sparkling eyes, I couldn't help but reach out and grab her. So adorable. Even though Jiang Xianchu, who used all her tricks but failed to seduce me, was defeated at this moment, she quietly snuggled up in my arms, softly acting spoiled. Just then, a female voice suddenly came from outside the room. Jiang Xianchu immediately realized that it might be a heavenly arrogance, and she quickly dove under the bed. "I'll lie in wait first. If you need my help, just call me." Regarding my wife's hide-and-seek game, I helplessly said, "Wife, please come out." But Jiang Xianchu didn't care about anything and refused to come out. Suddenly, Mingyi rushed in. "Chinchanan, how are you?" And without caring about my surprise, she pounced directly into my arms. "Chinchanan, let me check your injuries. Just relax. You're my sister, so you can't touch certain places. Chinchanan is fine. It'll be quick. It won't hurt." Upon hearing these misleading words, Jiang Xianchu felt even more frustrated under the bed. like a trapped little dog, wishing to come out and kill that woman directly. Nan Rong outside the room originally wanted to use seduction tactics, but at this moment, she was utterly shocked by my extreme behavior. This Chinchanan is playing too recklessly. Inside the room, Minghe was now very earnestly blowing gentle breaths toward me, like a mature elder sister. Meanwhile, my wife was still hiding under the bed, and it seemed like you were deliberately putting me in a difficult situation. Then I cleverly reminded her, "Sister, this can easily cause misunderstandings." But Minghe didn't care about misunderstandings at all. I stopped caring about rumors and gossip from the outside world a long time ago. Tonight, let Minghe accompany you, guarding your safety. Upon hearing Minghe's explicit proposal, Jiang Xianchu under the bed was already full of jealousy, almost reaching the point of exposing a knife to catch the adulterers. Although Minghe had said so much, I still had to resolutely refuse. Otherwise, tomorrow morning in Cloud State City, it wouldn't just be rumors of me being seriously injured. It would be the corpse of the ruler of the 9 state lying in the wilderness. What confused me, however, was that Minghe, the ruler of Ghost State, was the only one among the 9 continent rulers who first surrendered to me, actively helping me to win over other governors of a state and secure my position as the ruler of the 9 state. Yet, I knew very little about her, and we couldn't even be considered close, but she was fully responsible for all my major matters. Is it because my charm as a man is too great? It's like I can have it all. I don't know if it's good or bad. Host, please be aware that there is a refining void realm heavenly arrogance lurking near the governor of a state. Oh, great! The long-awaited leak finally came online. Haha, I've been waiting for you for so long. Just as I discover the new leak, Nan Rong outside the room also stepped on a branch with a snap, exposing her whereabouts. Nan Rong secretly thought, not good, my concealment technique failed. She immediately fled into the distance. Chinchanan is pretending to be seriously injured, aiming to make us fall into a trap. Cunning ruler of the lower realm. It seems that my proud seduction plan is not very useful after all. At this moment, my figure appeared directly in front of this little fool. Good evening, my dear domain value. I've been waiting for you for so long. And in that instant when Nan Rong saw me, her nervous expression turned into fear, and her mood instantly sank to the bottom. And at this moment, 2 other leaks from the fairy realms also appeared together. Nan Rong, I've told you before, your trick can only deceive those brainless idiots, but this guy is clearly not that kind of brainless idiot. Sensing the appearance of a new domain value behind me, I was overjoyed. Good things come in pairs indeed. The long-haired woman no longer hesitated and came straight at me to attack. Chinchanan, come at me with your life. You dare to lay hands on me, even as a mere mortal. So, you're pretty brave, huh? The little pink-haired person also revealed their ultimate move from the bottom of their box. This is the only chance. Let's show all our trump cards. As they spoke, suddenly a chessboard appeared under them, and the chess pieces inside swiftly moved. And Nan Rong, seeing that she now had allies in confidence, originally found you a little pleasing to the eye. But unfortunately, now I'm going to kill you. And the long-haired woman controlled the ropes around her body. This strike would penetrate everything. Once my blazing spirit chain locks onto its target, even immortals cannot escape death. Watching these lackeys show off their ultimate moves, I couldn't help but laugh. You're so strong. I'm so scared. A golden dragon illuminated the entire scene, and what happened inside was self-evident. Their hands were skillfully entangled with ropes by me. After tying the dog leash, those arrogant heavenly arrogances instantly turned into idiots. They even became incoherent in their pleas for mercy. Seeing them beaten into pig heads by me, I felt a great sense of familiarity. I reached out and touched them directly. As long as you obediently answer my questions, how could I possibly harm you? After all, I'm not some kind of demon. At this moment, Nan Rong also became my loyal lapdog. Little brother, you're so kind. These dogs actually have hiding techniques that even the system can't detect. Once I master them, I'll turn them into my domain value. And at this moment, Jiang Xianchu in the room couldn't hold back and ran out. Husband, who are these people? These are the heavenly arrogances from the upper realm reincarnated, possessing various amazing skills. Stay away. Nan Rong, upon seeing Jiang Xianchu and the others, once again schemed in her heart. So cautious. But do you think I can't deal with you anymore like this? Forget it. It's just a strand of soul. Let me make it shine and heat up again. And the following scene completely infuriated Jiang Xianchu. I saw Nan Rong actually pretending to be very familiar with me, softly saying, "Husband, I miss you so much. I can't sleep at night without you." Seeing this sudden change in behavior, I also realized what she was up to. You're talking nonsense. But Nan Rong came here with a determination to die. Husband, is she your first wife? Why have you never told me about her? If we're pursuing excitement, we should go all the way. Do you know what I need the most right now? It's you. Jiang Xianchu, seeing Nan Rong becoming more and more outrageous, coldly said, Chinchanan is mine. no one can snatch him away. Man Rong continued to add fuel to the fire. Why are you so concerned, woman? Isn't it normal for a man to have multiple wives? Jiang Xianchu couldn't control himself and was about to directly attack these small fries with his knife. Wife, calm down, let's keep her, she's still useful to us. Minghe, seeing this scene, couldn't help but be moved. I thought I would never see such a scene of heavenly arrogances from the upper realm being punished again in this lifetime. He really is unexpected. In the small town at the border of Cloud City, the streets are filled with the smell of blood. Even the sky has been stained red. And in this city, there is only one survivor left, the little guy whose body was taken by slaying heaven that day. And in this city, the two members of the Burial Love Heaven sect who had just massacred the city were looking at their swords, emitting sharp sounds. With this immortal sword, the 9-state realm will be ours. That Burial Love also noticed the young man hidden behind him. Oh, there's still a little mouse left to kill. As the Burial Love family casually mentioned, the young man was directly caught. Just as the young man was about to be sacrificed by the Burial Love heavenly arrogance, an attack suddenly came towards Burial Love. Let him go. The person who arrived is the Sleeper Alliance who came down the mountain to find me. Lin Bao and Baiyu. After saving the young man, Lin Bao even blocked in front of the young man. You dogs and trash from the upper realm also dare to cultivate immortality? When Burial Love saw these ants from the lower realm dare to meddle in the affairs of their upper realm bosses, he couldn't help but be furious. Your little girl's body is not bad, perfect for sacrificing the sword. As he spoke, he swung towards Lin Bao. Seeing the small fry approaching to kill her, Lin Bao remained calm and composed. You damn thing, were you also responsible for the slaughter of the previous cities? Upon receiving a positive response, her killing intent grew stronger. Then you shall become a lost soul under my sword. Atone for the people you killed. With a flash of sword light, the figure of the small fry froze in place. With a splattering sound, blood sprayed out, and another small fry added. How did the holy immortal sword end up in your hands? Wasn't it in the hands of Chinchanan? Lin Bao said with dominance. There's no need for the dead to know so much. Feeling Lin Bao's killing intent, the small fry fled. What kind of cheats are they using one by one? It's even more excessive than mine. It's best to leave first. However, Lin Bao, burning with anger, wouldn't let the small fry escape so easily. With a swift stroke of justice, she killed the small fry. But Lin Bao's furious mood remained unchanged. We've already seen 5 cities being slaughtered along our way, and there are probably more in places we can't see. It seems that our master frequently switches avatars because the 9-state continent is truly in a crisis. Detection of host disciple Lin Bao's killing of 2 Transcendence Realm heavenly arrogances. Rewarding host with 20,000 domain value. Special mission appearing. Due to the wanton slaughter of heavenly arrogances in the 9-state continent, host is requested to take immediate action to save the 9-state. Successful mission will reward host with a card for crossing realms. Failure will result in the destruction of the 9-state. Upon seeing the new mission, I smiled slightly. I've been looking forward to you. I can't get excited without some benefits. After receiving the new mission, my attention was also drawn to a key phrase. Realm crossing card. System, let's talk about something. Is this realm crossing card what I think it is? Can I use it to cross to other realms, like Earth? The little system looked puzzled and asked, what's Earth? And where this realm crossing card can take you is purely a matter of luck. System, can you help me out a little? I just want a designated crossing, you know? Unable to find a solution, I pondered again. This mission was caused by heavenly arrogances. Killing 1 or 2 small fries is easy, but it's a bit challenging to harvest them all. Besides, some advanced vegetables have avatars in the mortal realm, purely cheating with unlimited revivals. It's impossible to clean them up completely. Let me ask you this. Is there a time limit for the special mission? Can I earn domain value by killing heavenly arrogances, excluding Lin Bao? The special mission is limited to 1 day, and it concerns the life and death of the 9-state. I hope the host takes it seriously. Stop slacking off. Hearing the system dare to criticize me from a moral high ground. I'm not willing either. The mission rewards are insufficient. No discussion. Anyway, I'm not afraid. Just then, the people behind me exclaimed one after another. Look, another immortal has descended to the mortal realm. And in the sky, a golden vortex suddenly opened up, detecting new leaks. Slaying Heaven Online. This heavenly arrogance is at the Immortal Emperor level, and the host's avatar is unable to contend with it. Do you need to exchange for a higher level avatar? Immortal Emperor level. It must be his true body descending this time, right? This thing is like a supersized experience pack. Thank goodness, I finally encountered a big fish. No need to exchange for now. I'm planning to have some big fun with him. At the same time, in a deep part of the forest in Cloud State, numerous small fries had already gathered, welcoming the 9th prince. And accompanying the 9th prince to the mortal realm was also Yuchan. But Yuchan clearly didn't want to get involved in such matters. After exchanging greetings with the 9th prince, She prepared to take her leave. Slaying Heaven looked at the departing Yu Chang and couldn't help but feel disappointed. We are both from Xuanwu Immortal Domain. Why won't you stay and help me seize the 9 state? The Jiang family members are all stubborn indeed. As Yu Chang left, she couldn't help but mutter in her heart, Slaying Heaven has actually descended in his true form. It seems that the 9 state is bound to be taken by him, but no matter what kind of power decline, it will be suppressed by the laws of heaven. Yet I don't feel any signs of him being suppressed. Could it be that he's disguised? At this moment, Slaying Heaven's small fries also ran over. Your Highness, Qin Chanan is cunning and has released false information about being seriously injured, to confuse Nan Rong and the others. They were all captured. That's right, Your Highness. We cannot let ourselves be manipulated by a mere mortal. We must take the initiative. We must make him pay a price. Otherwise, how can we establish ourselves? Hearing the constant complaints from these small fries, Slaying Heaven raised his hand to stop them. In 5 hours, I will make sure he begs for life but can't find death. Then a standard villainous smile appeared on his face. But I need your cooperation. I remember that Chinchanan originally had many relatives and friends in the Flying Immortal Mountain, right? Our plan consists of 2 steps. Step 1. Gather all the heavenly arrogants near Cloud State who can be contacted, and bring them extreme panic and despair. Step 2. When those ants are completely hopeless, give them a glimmer of hope at various locations in the 9 state. At this moment, just as arranged by Slaying Heaven, the entire 9 state has also fallen into extreme panic. And those small fries, with fierce expressions, look at the people in the city and say, do you want to stay alive? As long as your governor of a state hands over the 9 state cauldron, this slaughter will stop. After this upheaval, the little brothers from various states have also turned their coats one after another, standing on a moral high ground to condemn me. That bastard Chinchanan, quickly hand over the 9 state cauldron, and give an explanation to the higher realms. Slaying Heaven's small fries saw the plan going so smoothly and all showed satisfied smiles. Perhaps Chinchanan didn't expect that we not only have superior strength, but also intelligent minds. Ha ha. As for Slaying Heaven, who controls everything from behind, he couldn't stop laughing. Chinchanan, you will always have to pay for everything you do. Misleading shouts could be heard from the mansion in Dragon Transformation City. Nan Rong's face turned red, as if she had experienced indescribable despair. After my exploration, I finally understood the secret of their hiding technique. Although this technique can evade low-level detection and communicate with other leaks simultaneously, it also carries certain risks. After repeated experiments, I found that maintaining this state for a long time would backfire. At the very least, it would result in becoming mentally impaired, and at worst, it could lead to memory loss. And this guardian is like a powerful summoned beast by the side of the heavenly arrogance, with various summoning methods. But I seem to remember the guardian of the Jade Azura saying that he is not suppressed because of his cultivation of the immortal seal. It seems that this immortal seal is not that simple. It looks like capturing heavenly arrogance alone is not enough. We also need to capture some guardians to obtain information from the higher realms. In a hall in Dragon Transformation City, several governors of states are still gathered together, revealing the conditions within their respective states. Apparently, every state has suffered devastating blows. After discussing, they all turned their focus on me. Just then, a force that seemed to tear the heavens and earth suddenly appeared, causing panic among the governors of states. The earth is trembling. It's the 9 state cauldron. Someone is tampering with it. After speaking, the governors of states rushed outside without hesitation. At this moment, a golden light that pierced through the heavens and earth also shone in the center of Dragon Transformation City, and I was the one causing this upheaval. The surrounding little brothers were all terrified. Damn it, what is the governor of a state trying to do? Is he trying to destroy the 9 state cauldron? After a commotion, I also stopped. This thing is quite sturdy. Looks like I'll have to go all out. So, I turned to my wife beside me, displaying affection in front of everyone. Darling, it will be dangerous here for a while. Go to the city and wait for me. After I finish up, I'll come find you. Jiang Xianchu also immediately rejected this proposal and sprinkled some dog food. No, I want to stay by your side and face it together. Good girl. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Once Jiang Xianchu left, I continued to increase the output power. At this time, the governors of states from the 9 states also arrived one after another. Quick, stop him. If this continues, the entire 9 state will be destroyed along with him. And even the heavenly doubt can't bear the pain. Dad, my only biological father, please stop fighting. I can't take it anymore. If you keep fighting, the entire continent will collapse. Although the humble heavenly Dao begged for mercy, I didn't show any mercy. Instead, I increased my output. Just listen to Dad. With my divine power infused, the 9 state cauldron shattered. At the same time, the entire 9 state was torn apart under my manipulation, ushering in the end. Just as the little brothers were all in despair, I suddenly stopped my actions. and looked up at the sky. It wasn't in vain that I put in all that effort. The big fish is finally hooked. I've been waiting for you for so long. High above in the sky, countless heavenly arrogance led by Slaying Heaven appeared, occupying the entire night sky. The momentum is magnificent and mighty, although it's an army pressing in. In my eyes, they're just handing over domain value. You cowardly turtles finally showed up. I've been waiting so hard for you. Jiang Xianchu and others were completely shocked by the scene before them. All the heavenly arrogance from across the 9 state have gathered here. Slaying Heaven is furious because of my actions. Chinchaman, didn't expect you to have some guts. The followers behind me also expressed their opinions, using such despicable means to force us out, rendering all our previous efforts useless. You damn bastard. Looking at the chattering domain value in front of me, I contemptuously said, you guys are just a bunch of unruly kids gathered together. I am the ruler of the 9 state. Whether this domain is destroyed, I am the one who decides. Even the heavenly kings should shut up in front of me, and I had no intention of listening to them continue talking. I directly started my plan to harvest the leaks. As the energy at my fingertips kept flashing, the sound of domain value arriving kept ringing. Congratulations, you have gained 5,000 domain value. My indifferent attitude completely filled Slaying Heaven with hatred. He angrily shouted my name, and the heavenly arrogance behind Slaying Heaven gathered together, calling out for their own guardian immortal general. As the first crimson vortex slowly appeared, the entire night sky was filled with countless crimson vortices. One by one, the so-called heavenly arrogance summoned beasts rushed out of the vortex like wolves and tigers, and their only goal at the moment was to kill me and seize this 9 state. The system prompt kept ringing incessantly at this moment, detecting the appearance of an immortal general realm guardian. Please eliminate them as soon as possible. Host. In just a fleeting moment, there were hundreds of such prompts, and without exception, all the summoned beasts pouring out of the vortex were immortal general realm level guardians. In a farmhouse in the mortal realm, an old woman rushed into the house. Old man, there's another immortal descending to the mortal realm. The old man trembled all over. Seeing the surprised look on the old man's face, the old woman anxiously shouted, what are you standing there for? Let's pack up and run away quickly. But the old man had no intention of retreating. He directly grabbed a shovel and rushed out of the house. It's been decades, and I must kill them. Before he could finish his sentence, he tripped and fell to the ground with a thud. The old woman saw the old man fall outside the door and hurriedly ran towards him in worry. Although the old man had already worn himself out before the battle even began, he still trembled as he said, I will kill them, drive them away. But at this moment, tears were already streaming down the old man's face. Are we going to lose our home again? There are too many leaks. I can't harvest them all. As more and more guardians appeared, my heart remained unaffected, and I could even use a few more. Who will I harvest these few leaks for? Then I happily shouted at them, my little darlings from the higher realm, give it your all. Is this all you've got? Bring me more. Don't worry about me. I can handle it. But the governors of the states behind me were already frozen in place. When was the last time there were so many immortals descending to the mortal realm? The guy with the spiky hair interjected. This is the first time in history. Meanwhile, Nangong was relatively calm at the moment. The governors of the states made a mistake in this game of chess. The heavenly arrogance should have been targeted and killed separately, and his actions undoubtedly pushed the 9-state cauldron into the abyss. Slaying Heaven felt the increasing support, and his confidence soared. He attempted to destroy the 9 state and force us out. This is the most failed move you've made. At the same time, it's also your final move. Chinchanan, you can rest in peace. And those guardians, one by one, couldn't wait to come forward to meet their doom. Just a lowly mortal from the mortal realm, nothing more than an empty vase. I can crush you all by myself. To think that even when the domain values are right at my fingertips, they still dare to taunt me. I burst out laughing. Such adorable fellows. They're just immortal general realm level guardians. Not enough for me to harvest. And to simplify and expedite the harvesting process, I kicked out a golden arc directly. Immortal commander realm power at full throttle. A swoosh of golden light flashed by, and that rain of arrows directly split the entire night sky, illuminating the whole world. Countless screams rang out as my arrow descended, and the sound of domain values being received echoed continuously. But what's different is that each notification sound is worth 1 million domain values, accompanied by a salted fish treasure chest. The rain of arrows I shot out directly broke through the sky, soaring into the universe. But my attacks are not limited to just this strike. Then I pointed towards the sky, and instantly, countless small fry vanished into thin air. I couldn't help but mock. Really? So these are the so-called immortal beings from the higher realm? So weak? Is this really all the strength you have? Since you recklessly slaughter mortals in the mortal realm, regarding them as ugly and despicable ants, then when you, beings from the higher realm, are slaughtered by someone like me, Immortal from the mortal realm, you can't blame anyone else, right? Repent for your crimes in hell. After harvesting the first wave of domain values, I instructed the system to use all the domain values I obtained to expand my invincible domain. Without any delay, the system immediately began deducting domain values to expand my invincible domain. My domain values started to decrease rapidly, but the speed couldn't keep up with my hunting speed. Soon after, the second wave of guardians continued to emerge from the whirlpool, killing their way out. On the contrary, Slaying Heaven's face showed no anger due to my slaughter. Instead, he grinned. I've seen plenty of arrogant individuals like you. Although the immortal commander realm can dominate the world, how many rounds can you withstand with this strategy of overwhelming numbers? The immortal beings in our immortal realm are not ones you can kill off. Sooner or later, you will exhaust yourself and die at my hands. Ha ha. The leaks in the sky no longer charge recklessly. Instead, each of them displays their own supernatural powers, illuminating the entire night sky with a variety of techniques. But no matter how many skills they have, they are just insignificant tricks before me. I strike again, and the notification sounds ring out madly. Seeing this scene, the explosive-haired guy pinches the face of the old man next to him as if in a dream, and those defected small fry once again kneel before me, cheering and applauding for me. Jiang Shen-chu, at this moment, looks at the palm of her hand, murmuring softly, "Husband, why can't I understand you more and more? What are you planning?" And in the hands of Jiang Shen-chu is the imprint of the heavenly thunder, a symbol of becoming the master of the heavenly way. But the aerial battle does not compromise because of this. Instead, it becomes even more intense. Explosions continuously sound in the air. Nangong trembles uncontrollably as he watches the explosions fill the sky. This battle is not something we can intervene in. The same scene occurs with other governors of states. Those so-called governors of states all lower their heads and whisper softly. No one can believe that the young man who was interrogated by us not long ago is now fighting alone for us. Our fate, the fate of the 9-state continent, rests on his shoulders. Chinchanan, you must win. Meanwhile, I am still harvesting. After all, this kind of battle that allows me to show off and dominate is so enjoyable. Slaying Heaven in the distance, however, remains indifferent, believing that I am just struggling in my last moments, and preparing to increase the difficulty of my path to earning points. The monkey show is about to end, as Slaying Heaven claps his hands. An even more terrifying aura slowly emerges from the whirlpool. Before the person arrives, the hand flipping the middle finger appears in the field of view. Then, 3 arrogant and domineering figures slowly appear. These youngsters from the higher realm are not strong enough. They need us old folks to deal with a lowly being from the mortal realm. Let me show you what true power is. System prompt. An immortal command realm guardian has descended. Please eliminate it as soon as possible. Host. The old guy who transformed into countless streams of light appears before me with a few flashes. Kid, surrender obediently and I might show mercy and let you feed the pigs in my pigsty. Seeing this, I no longer waste words. I directly reach out with a big hand and grab the most arrogant guy from earlier in my hand. The once proud small fry's heart suddenly sinks. They've encountered a tough opponent. I grab him and give him a Thomas helicopter spin, then throw him towards the bird general, directly smashing the bird general into a few feathers. Congratulations, host, for killing an immortal command realm. Level 1. Reward, 5 million domain values. Reward, 1 salted fish treasure chest. Feeling the rushing domain values, I become even more excited. The governors of states below once again have their perspective shattered. Even the immortal beings of the immortal command realm can't handle him. Thankfully, this terrifying guy is on our side. But these 5 million domain values are so tempting. I can't help but gather my ultimate move for a large-scale harvest. Thunderous Force. With my incredible skill, I transform into a blue flash and swiftly rush toward numerous leaks. The sounds of wonderful domain values being received ring crisply. Slaying Heaven also notices that under my continuous high-intensity output, his body becomes exhausted. I also sense something unusual in my own body. It seems that even for clones, there are normal physiological reactions. After that, I look up at Slaying Heaven in the sky. The domain value of an immortal command summoning creature is 5 million. So how much higher is the value of someone who surpasses these immortal command beings? Just as I'm lost in thought, another person seizes the opportunity and grabs me from behind. That giant hand succeeds in slamming me to the ground in an instant, and the shockwave from that attack destroys all the houses within several kilometers around. Detection of the appearance of an immortal commander peak level guardian. Host's current strength is weak. Please exchange for a higher level clone as soon as possible. After that giant palm strike, it slowly lifted its arm, but immediately followed with another fierce palm strike at the same spot. The frequency of the system prompt sound suddenly increases. please exchange for a higher level clone as soon as possible. Slaying Heaven, seeing this, reveals a smug smile. A bug is still a bug in the end. You can't keep up that fast. Huh? Just as his words fall, my golden hand slaps him away with a smack. The crisp sound instantly reverberates through the sky. After enjoying that, I retrieve my adorable golden hand. As the smoke dissipates, my arrogant appearance becomes undeniable. Prepare to die, you scum. Today, Daddy will kill you for sure. Slaying Heaven feels the burning sensation on his face and instantly becomes aggrieved. I've grown up, and even my mom never hit me. Tears well up in his eyes. Then, he points towards my location. What are you useless fools waiting for? Are you just going to watch me get beaten? Go and kill him for me. I want to tear him apart into 1,000 pieces. As his words fall, the dimensional strike from the immortal commander continuously attacks me. Looking at the two people rushing towards me, I can't help but feel some pressure. After all, these are leaks on the same level as me. After dodging one strike, I couldn't help but get cut by a blade. The sensation of the clone is very real, and I instantly feel an immense pain. The person beside me also kicks me, sending me flying into a nearby town. A massive explosion occurs. Looking at the dense swarm of guardian summoning creatures in front of me, I start to feel a bit overwhelmed. I'm still a bit short on domain value to expand my invincible domain to the cloud state. I'll endure the pain and hold on. Slaying Heaven sees me in a disadvantaged position, and the pain on his face instantly dissipates. Immortal Commander, you can't keep up anymore. Huh? Weren't you quite impressive earlier? I still have an immortal king realm that hasn't been summoned. All of you, attack. Deal with this guy. It's time to end this farce. I fearlessly charge towards the group of guys. With the release of my ultimate move, the true dragon descends. I quickly defeat another wave of small fries. But this favorable situation doesn't last long. A piercing pain shoots through me, and blood starts to trickle from the corner of my mouth. As Jiang Xianchu and Mingyi see this, tears unconsciously well up in their eyes. I can see that my chest has been pierced by a long-haired weapon. Soon after, Slaying Heaven's arrogant voice follows. Chinchaman, how does it feel to become a dog of the bereaved family? Hearing Ninth Prince's mockery, I can't help but laugh. Speaking of being a dog of the bereaved family, I think, Ninth Prince, you are the one who understands that feeling the most. You're quite stubborn. Then I'll take your head right here in front of the people of Cloud State. Let them experience what true despair is like. I bet that feeling will be quite interesting. As he say this, he raise his sword and slash down towards me. And flying Immortal Mountain, I'm sure you still have many friends and relatives there. After you die, I'll take good care of them. Ha ha ha. As Jiang Xianchu sees this, she quickly rushes towards my direction, but her advance is stopped by a lightning strike. And in the final moments of my life, I show a warm smile. Jiang Xianchu, I will find you. The host's clone has perished and is switching back to the original body. On the side of flying Immortal Mountain, I return to my original body once again. Detection shows that the current domain is sufficient to cover the entire cloud state. Should the host cover, I stand alone on the grass, speaking calmly. Cover. Soon, the voice of the system also came through. The invincible domain is expanding. Please be patient. Host, how long will it take? Soon. At the moment my clone died, a strange silence fell. At this moment, the young brother who had just passionately cheered for me also felt a sense of retreat. Since the governor of a state is already dead, why don't we surrender? This statement instantly influenced the surrounding commoners, and a discussion broke out. Just as the rulers of each state were bewildered, the old man with a white beard was the first to come up with his own idea. Meanwhile, Slaying Heaven, who had no idea what fear awaited him next, held the head of my clone and kept shouting, "Weren't you quite impressive earlier? Why don't I show you how impressive I am now?" Suddenly, a voice from behind interrupted Slaying Heaven's uncontrollable laughter. Lord Slaying Heaven, the nine-state cauldron has been brought from the mortal realm. Upon hearing this, Slaying Heaven's joy multiplied. The white-bearded old man even knelt and licked Slaying Heaven's feet like an old dog. Lord Slaying Heaven, we are willing to offer you the nine-state cauldron. Everything that happened before was done by Chinchanan. We have nothing to do with it. Fortunately, you timely eliminated that wicked person, saving the people of the nine-state. However, Slaying Heaven paid no attention to such bootlickers. He directly snatched the nine-state cauldron. With this nine-state cauldron, the mortal realm will be mine. Be honored, you insignificant beings of the mortal realm. You will become the nourishment for my advancement to immortal venerable. Upon hearing Slaying Heaven's true intentions, the rulers of each nine-state were shocked. This guy, he actually wants the entire nine-state to become his energy source. In the end, we are just lambs to be slaughtered at his disposal. Mingyi's heart grew colder. Without Chinchanan, we are nothing more than a group of useless wastes. Slaying Heaven no longer wasted any words. He directly grabbed the nine-state cauldron and prepared to extract its energy. But strangely enough, the perfectly fine nine-state cauldron suddenly turned into a wisp of green smoke and dissipated. Seeing the nine-state cauldron dissipating in his hands, Slaying Heaven became furious, grabbing the former bootlicker. How dare you deceive me with a fake? Feeling the terrifying pressure, the bootlicker's legs went weak in fear. It must be Chinchanon's woman. It must be her. She must have hidden the real 9-state cauldron. Slaying Heaven followed the bootlicker's gaze, only to see my wife immersed in sadness, unable to extricate herself. Suddenly, a golden light flashed in Jiang Xuanchu's eyes, and the heavenly Tao mark I had given Jiang Xianchu instantly emitted a golden glow. Empowered by the heavenly Tao, Jiang Xianchu also unleashed even more powerful energy. The blue water light condensed into a golden dragon in midair, biting towards Slaying Heaven. But an immortal is still an immortal. Slaying Heaven easily dispersed the mighty water dragon with a casual wave. He then shouted for his army to strip her naked. I want to see where he hid the 9-state cauldron. The lewd lackeys, with a disgusting grin, pounced on Jiang Xuanchu's figure, uttering filthy words. Just then, a precise lightning strike hit one of the lackeys, and his screams echoed through the sky. Turns out, it was the heavenly Tao who arrived. Let me help you break through. Kill them. This comical scene left everyone present dumbfounded, but the heavenly Tao quickly realized that the power it had just manifested inexplicably disappeared, and the person who attacked the heavenly Tao was one of Slaying Heaven's lackeys, a peak-level immortal Commander Realm lackey. The lackey who was freed from control instantly regained his senses. You dared to attack me just now. I love tormenting women like you. One lackey rushed forward and sent Jiang Xianchu flying. The lewd man showed no intention of sparing Jiang Xianchu, relentlessly venting his anger on her, leaving Jiang Xianchu helpless as she protected me beneath her, crying out for her husband. The rebellious people of Cloud State, seeing Jiang Xianchu still protecting my body, roared angrily, quickly hand over the 9-state cauldron to Immortal Daddy. What if Immortal Daddy gets angry again? If you want to die, don't drag us along. We are all Immortal Daddy's lackeys. Nangong, seeing Jiang Xuanchu's deep but unspoken affection, couldn't help but be moved, and upon further reflection, he felt even more ashamed of himself. The thorny man, witnessing Feng Qing's actions, couldn't help but be furious. That dog shit, actually shifting all the blame onto a helpless woman. He's really a despicable creature. Minghe, looking at Jiang Xianchu being continuously beaten, couldn't help but feel sorry. This girl is truly foolish. Chinchanon is already dead, yet she still wants to protect Chinchanon and the 9-state cauldron. Under the onslaught of this fierce storm of punches and kicks, Jiang Xianchu had long reached her limit and fainted. The few lackeys, seeing Jiang Xianchu faint, became even more excited. Burn the two of them into ashes, and then the 9-state cauldron will naturally appear. Just as they were about to succeed, a purple slash tore through the sky and struck them directly. Die, you reincarnated heavenly arrogance. The ones who came to save the day were the surviving governors. Since the outcome is inevitable death, it's better to die with some dignity. Jiang Xianchu, upon seeing the governors, finally showed a trace of change in her eyes. Slaying Heaven and the others in the sky turned cold because of the ant's resistance. Ignorant fools! Since you want to become the second Chinchanon, I'll grant your wish. And so, the war between the upper realm and the lower realm truly began at this moment. Not only did the governors of each state fight back, but even all the rebellious people of the 9-state continent reached a consensus at this critical moment. They awakened in this final moment. Countless rebellious people of the 9-state fearlessly charged towards the Slaying Heaven and the immortal Emperor realm. We, the people of the 9-state, will never be slaves. Slaying Heaven looked at the low-level cannon fodder that came to meet their death. His twisted psychology was even more evident on his face. Ha ha, look, a group of beasts actually charging at me. Their overall strength is still no match for the beings of the upper realm. With a mere flash, Slaying Heaven slaughtered them all. Meanwhile, the lackey who had sided with Slaying Heaven was hiding in a corner, crying incessantly. A bunch of idiots, you worthless pieces of trash. In front of immortals, you should grovel to survive. I must stay alive. One by one, immortals released their celestial flames upon the city, like mocking children at play. As the entire Cloud State fell into a sea of fire, despair engulfed the entire region. On Slaying Heaven's side, they had long since eradicated the rebellious people who had come to die. And then, Slaying Heaven looked at Jiang Xianchu, who was still protecting me. The people of Cloud State have almost been wiped out. This reward isn't bad, right? Speaking thus, Slaying Heaven took steps toward Jiang Xuanchu's figure, still sheltering me, raising the large cleaver in hand. The rules and restrictions of the immortal realm are truly too many. I can only find joy in seeing you at your most desperate. Since you've chosen to resist, you must see it through to the end. Just as Jiang Xianchu was about to follow my footsteps, a sound from above made Jiang Xianchu pause. A golden light instantly shattered the sword in that sound. It turns out Lin Bao and the others arrived in time and saved Jiang Xianchu. Witnessing the scene of corpses strewn about, tears flowed freely from Lin Bao's eyes. Master, why haven't you appeared yet? It's too late now. Slaying Heaven, seeing their plans being repeatedly disrupted, burned with anger. And what are you supposed to be? Why are you screaming like a ghost? At that moment, a terrifying crack appeared in the space behind Slaying Heaven. Slaying Heaven, in that moment, felt a soul-shaking tremor, frozen in place, motionless for a long time. Slaying Heaven, the high and mighty prince once again tasted the thing called fear. Unable to withstand the overwhelming terror and pressure, the group of lackeys couldn't help but look behind them. What's going on? Who is the powerful being tearing through the void to come here? Slaying Heaven was also dumbfounded. Allies? That's no longer necessary. The ants of the lower realm have already been slaughtered by me. Upon hearing Slaying Heaven's casual remark about slaughter, I asked in return, are you proud of bullying the weak as an upper realm being? Upon hearing the familiar voice, cold sweat couldn't help but flow down Slaying Heaven's face. It's you! How is this possible? We clearly killed you. Although acting cool like this is impressive, the system has been spamming my mind for a while now. Wait, host, the domain hasn't fully expanded yet. Please, no, if you're going to die, don't take me with you. I'm just a small system. You always make it difficult for me by acting recklessly. As Slaying Heaven looked at the approaching figure, a terrifying thought emerged in their mind. Could it be that the previous one was just a clone? But that thought was quickly dismissed. Summoning courage, Slaying Heaven yelled at me, Chinchanon, what kind of trick are you playing? In my mind, the system child was speeding up the expansion of the domain due to my reckless actions. Crying in grievance, it said, host, Daddy, the domain now covers the entire cloud state. Please enjoy it, Daddy. But I was already too preoccupied to pay attention to the system. In this moment, all I wanted to do was show off. And it was at that moment, even before Slaying Heaven could react, he was already sent flying by an unbeatable force. Slaying Heaven's pitiful appearance was now revealed, blood continuously spewing from their mouth. He didn't even understand what had just happened before being knocked down by the hammer. The next second, I appeared in front of Slaying Heaven. Weren't you acting all high and mighty just now? If you have anything to say, confess it quickly, or else don't blame me if you die. As an arrogant prince of the upper realm, Slaying Heaven had never experienced such humiliation. Swinging their fist, they charged at me. Just a subordinate who's been defeated. Die for me. But how could I give him a chance to turn the tables? I flashed in front of him, then grabbed his face and slammed it onto the floor tiles, followed by lifting my big foot and stomping on his face. The whole cloud state trembled from the impact. But this Slaying Heaven, as an immortal emperor realm with a high domain value, despite being severely injured, still managed to crawl up, spewing venomous words from his mouth. But my favorite thing to do was to crush this kind of arrogant heavenly arrogance under my feet, viciously erasing their will, and my actions aroused the last trace of dignity in Slaying Heaven's heart. Die! Die for me, Chinchanon, you persistent dog's ghost. Summon demons from beyond the heavens. Although Slaying Heaven shouted with passion, I wasn't the least bit interrupted by him, continuing to ruthlessly rub his head. Then a demon resembling a crimson angel, wielding a scythe, appeared behind me, by the command of my master. Die, lower realm trash. Seeing his own demon appear, Slaying Heaven seemed to have seen a savior and wore a smug smile, as if he had already envisioned me being beheaded. But I paid no attention to it, as it was merely a slightly more generous experience package. Just lifting my hand, a powerful energy instantly covered the small bird, and this so-called demon, like a little girl, shouted excitedly, I haven't even made a move yet. Congratulations, host, for killing an immortal king realm first level divine demon. Reward, 9 million domain value, plus 1 fragment of the domain boundary. The people of the 9 states, witnessing the mighty immortal king realm being defeated by my move, once again ignited their hope for survival. The summoned beasts from the upper realm also took notice of this incredible scene, cold sweat wetting their backs, speculating on my true strength. Slaying Heaven felt the most terrifying aura at such close proximity, scared to the point of fleeing in panic. But still, with a defiant mouth, he said, attack, all of you. Being able to kill him once means being able to kill him a second time. Although the upper realm's working class leaks are afraid of my strength, when they consider that if Slaying Heaven really dies here, their own fate won't be any better, countless leaks begin to appear. Feeling the massive army behind them, Slaying Heaven's confidence grows stronger. I don't care if you, Chinchanon, are an immortal king realm or an immortal emperor realm. Today, I can't let you live anymore. Otherwise, you will become a great enemy of my upper realm in the future. With Slaying Heaven summoning, a colossal demon, covering the sky, appears in the high sky, leading a multitude of summoned beasts. Although the enemy's forces are overwhelming, I am clearly unafraid. I casually raise my finger and lightly snap it, and all those overwhelming divine demons instantly turn into fireworks. the system's notification sounds one after another. Congratulations, host, for killing the peak immoral commander, obtaining 7 million domain value and 1 salted fish treasure chest. Congratulations, host, for killing an immortal king, obtaining 9 million domain value and 1 fragment of the domain boundary. As this battle, capable of destroying the world, reaches even the distant 10,000 mountains, even Yuchang Fairy senses this scorching energy. The commotion they caused is too great. Subsequently, Yuchang Fairy halts her steps toward flying Immoral Mountain, turns around, and flies towards Cloud State. I need to warn them, to prevent the impact from reaching flying Immortal Mountain. After a snap of my fingers, the entire Cloud State falls into an eerie silence. Chin is amazing. Just a snap of your fingers and you've annihilated all these guardian immortals. At the same time, they are glad that they made the right choice by siding with me in the end. They secretly celebrate that I am not on the evil side. Finally, after the little lackeys of the upper realm finish cleaning up, Yuchang arrives at the battlefield in time. Watching the intense scene on the battlefield, Yuchang couldn't help but worry. How did the Ninth Prince provoke such a disaster? It seems that things are heading in an unfavorable direction. At this moment, Slaying Heaven seems to have realized something. I understand now. You previously used your clone to test our strength, making us lower our guard, giving you the opportunity for a fatal strike. You didn't dare to show up immediately. You were worried that we would summon even more powerful guardian immortals. But indeed, you succeeded in doing so. This was indeed my negligence. I didn't expect that such a person would exist in the lower realm. Although guardian immortals can be continuously cultivated using the power of the boundary, thanks to them, I probably know what realm you are in. You are in the Immortal Emperor realm, right? And you specialize in the spatial law faction. To deal with you, I have to use that. Chinchaman, you are the first person from the lower realm to force me to use the descending transcendence symbol. Although this symbol is extremely precious, it allows me to unleash my true power. Burning Ghost, come forth. Suddenly, a blue giant sword plunges into the ground, revealing a bull-headed ghost with a sword in hand behind Slaying Heaven. Slaying Heaven, showcasing his strongest power, once again regains the glory of his princely status and boasts, I am invincible within the Immortal Emperor realm, and I can rival the Immortal Revered realm, and perish together. Yuchang, seeing that Slaying Heaven has actually used his most powerful summon, Burning Ghost, also feels uneasy. This is bad. If Chinchanan dies, who will give me fairy fruits? Then, at Slaying Heaven's command, the Burning Ghost behind him, as if wanting to destroy everything in front of it, charges at me with the giant sword in hand, and all I do is smirk. After talking so much nonsense for so long, it's finally my turn to make an appearance. Immediately, I perform the One Yang Finger, which I haven't used for several issues. That arrogant Burning Ghost ultimately cannot withstand my ridicule, and turns into wisps of blue smoke. Congratulations, host, for killing a peak divine demon in the Immortal Emperor realm. Reward, 30 million domain value. 2 fragments of the domain boundary added. Slaying Heaven and Yuchang are instantly stunned, their astonished mouths unable to close for a long time. That was an immortal demon at the peak of the Immortal Emperor realm. He was taken down in just one move. How strong is he exactly? As Slaying Heaven regained his senses, only one word echoed in his mind: run. But how could I let him leave so freely? In an instant, I rushed to his face, raised my leg, and delivered a devastating blow. But it didn't end there. Once again, I raised my little hand, swiftly striking him and sending him underground. Pathetic creature, do you remember the last time when I trampled you like this, under my feet? Just like a worm. You really are persistent. Look at this so-called Ninth Prince, being so ruthlessly crushed and rubbed under my feet. You arrogant creatures from the upper realm are truly laughable. Not a single one of you coming to his aid. Then, I turned to Slaying Heaven and said, I've thought long and hard about how to maximize my benefits. Today, sparing your miserable life allows my plan to be implemented. I believe there will be someone who appreciates it. First, let's give you a crucifix. And then, every 10 seconds, thousands of spikes will pierce you. It can go on for a long time, and it doesn't hurt me anyway. Next, the Ninth Prince let out a scream resembling that of a dying dog. Ah, seeing this, I revealed a demonic smile. I'll wait as long as it takes for someone worthy to come and save you. As long as they come to rescue you, then I'll let you go. Ha ha. With a spluttering sound, one by one, the spikes pierced Slaying Heaven's hands. Following that, came the desperate screams of Slaying Heaven. Countless spikes covered Slaying Heaven's body, and his once defiant and rebellious gaze vanished without a trace, continuously praying in his heart for this boundless fear to end soon. And then, I pulled out the spikes from his body once again. It's been an hour already, and your father and the others haven't come to save you. This prince is truly a failure. Or perhaps I've been too merciful in tormenting you. Should I increase the number of spikes by tens of thousands and see? Suddenly, a soft touch came from behind me, and a pair of delicate hands embraced my chest. Jiang Xuanchu's tears of grievance wet my shoulder. Husband, it's true. This is not an illusion. You're still alive. Immediately, a sense of pain also emanated from my shoulder, as Jiang Xianchu seemed to bite down hard, as if to confirm if it was an illusion. Seeing this, I directly ignored the system's reminder, gently wiped away the tears from the corners of Jiang Xuanchu's eyes, and softly apologized. I'm sorry, I scared you. I won't do it again. At the same time, I quietly used the power of all living things to erase the wounds on Jiang Xuanchu's body. In this tender moment, a shout followed closely after. Master, Lin Bao and Baiyu also rushed out from somewhere, one on the left and one on the right, embracing me. They knocked Jiang Xianchu, who was full of affection towards me, out of the way. Seeing the two women who appeared out of nowhere surrounding me, Jiang Xuanchu's jealousy overflowed, and she pulled me out from the attack of Lin Bao and Baiyu. At the same time, she proclaimed his sovereignty to Baiyu, shouting, "He is my husband," and I found myself in the midst of a love battleground, awkwardly explaining the relationship between me and Lin Bao to Jiang Xianchu. But Jiang Xianchu had no time to think about these matters. He held onto my arm warily, watching Lin Bao and Baiyu by the side. At that moment, the voices of Jiang Xianchu and Lin Bao rang out simultaneously. Husband, you must give me an explanation today. Baiyu's voice also faintly came. Baiyu wants. Even though we are currently in a tense battlefield, the battlefield of a woman's love is the urgent matter at hand, and I spoke the words that countless men envied. We're all on the same side. We can share a room together. Naturally, this scene caught the attention of the surviving commoners, and rumors and gossip instantly spread. I didn't expect the governor of a state to have such an unknown side. I thought he was a noble gentleman, but turns out he's a playboy. Just then, a deep and endless crack suddenly appeared in the calm night sky. Seeing this, I couldn't help but curl my lips into a smile. Ha, the domain value has finally arrived. I've been waiting for you for so long. However, Jiang Yuchan was filled with fear at this sight. This is the domain lord's 8-star Buddha finger. With one finger, it can annihilate dozens of lower realm domains. Then, a purple giant hand that covered the heavens and earth pressed down from the crack. Inferior beings of the lower realms, you seek death. Although the attack from the domain lord of the upper realm was imminent, I was not afraid at all. When Slaying Heaven saw that I remained motionless in place, he thought I had no way to deal with the domain lord's attack, and he laughed arrogantly. Chinchanan, the domain lord, has come to save me. You can rest assured and die. Just then, I calmly gestured with my hand, indicating victory. Oh, the domain lord, I said. I'd like to see if your 8-star Buddha finger is stronger, or if my 1-yang finger surpasses it. In an instant, the two fingers representing the strength of their respective realms touched each other. The result can also be imagined. That exaggerated and conceited finger was forcefully broken by me, and the defeated finger instantly disappeared, as if nothing had happened. What a piece of junk, I said. Even my middle finger is superior to it. Seeing this, Slaying Heaven's heart sank to the bottom once again. Clearly, his words from earlier were premature. Jiang Yuchan's expression was equally amazing, as if it shattered her understanding of power. Though the commoners couldn't comprehend anything, they were equally shocked to the extreme. But all of this was within Lin Bao's expectations, constantly cheering me on. Master, you're awesome. Seeing the domain lord escaping in a dejected manner, I couldn't help but taunt. Really? Is this how you upper realm folks like to act? Run away after a fight? Or are you simply afraid? Jiang Yuchang, unable to bear my sarcastic remarks any longer, finally burst out. That's enough. I know you hold great hostility towards the upper realm, but the upper realm isn't only populated by beings at our level. There are many more powerful beings. If it weren't for the protection of the 9 state realms laws that you possess, stronger immortals wouldn't casually come down to the lower realm. Otherwise, how could you be so arrogant here? If you truly provoke them. Haha. Hearing this young girl's angry words, I couldn't help but turn around and look. Oh well, thank you for the reminder. I knew it. I've been tormenting this boy for so long, yet not a single upper realm immortal dared to come down. So, that's the reason. Heavenly Tao, my dear baby, come quickly. Daddy needs you. A blue flash appeared in response to the call. Daddy, I'm here. What can I do for you? Seeing this, I didn't waste any more words, and straightforwardly said, I want to rewrite the laws of the continent, especially the one about immortals coming to the lower realm. Upon hearing my words, Heavenly Tao widened his eyes in disbelief. Dad, please think twice. My small body can't handle your antics. But how could I care about Heavenly Tao's opinion? I simply waved my hand. Immortals are now free to ignore the laws and come to the lower realm. Second, the 9-state realm no longer limits the power of immortals. Third, immortals can exert their peak strength. Feeling helpless, Heavenly Tao knew he couldn't turn the situation around. Tears streaming down his face, he said, "As long as Dad is happy, there's no need to worry about your son's life or death." Slaying Heaven and Jiang Yuchang were shocked and horrified by my crazy actions. How dare he? Before the commoners could even cheer, they were faced with yet another problem. The commoners became numb to it. "Forget it, I'm done playing. Let it be destroyed. Do whatever you want. Hurry up." But this joyous occasion did not appear on Slaying Heaven's face. Instead, fear occupied his entire expression. "I understand now. Chinchanan wants to exterminate all the immortals in the upper realm in exchange for eternal peace in the lower realm." But how could Jiang Yuchang think of all this? Instead, she lost her brilliance and kept thinking about how difficult it was for her to just seek a fruit. Just as things were unfolding, Jiang Yuchang's brow suddenly flickered. Jiang family's heavenly arrogance, the mark of protection, a thin thread connected to Jiang Xianchu. Jiang Yuchang instantly realized that she was the first heavenly arrogance of the Jiang family. She had long been lurking by Chinchanan's side and had gained his trust. Jiang Yuchang then imagined on her own that Jiang Xianchu silently took away the 9-state cauldron, fulfilling the Jiang family's dream of dominating the 9-state realm. And when she saw the ambiguous relationship between me and Jiang Xianchu, she kept thinking, "Chinchanan, you could never have imagined that she is one of our Jiang family members." As I opened the restrictions of the 9-state continent, several portals in the sky merged together, and at the center of that vortex, an infinite terror emanated. The commoners pointed to the sky and exclaimed, "Look, this is the end. The immortals must all be coming down." The system prompt immediately followed, detected the descent of immortal revered realm 5th stage immortal. "Please eliminate them quickly, host." The portals were rendered in a deep color, and a figure slowly emerged. This woman carried an air of arrogance and spoke indifferently. "I am Jiang Ningran, the head of the Jiang family. Chinchanan, you have surprised us." Seeing only this woman descend, I couldn't help but feel disappointed. "After all this fuss, you're the only one who came down to the lower realm. How boring." Seeing my arrogance, Jiang Ningran couldn't help but say, "To force me, a heavenly arrogance from the upper realm. To this extent, you do have the qualifications to be arrogant. Besides Feng Qian, you are the second person to toy with us and make us dizzy in the lower realm. I originally wanted to eliminate you and destroy the 9-state, but after seeing you, I changed my mind. I have decided to accept you as a disciple of the Jiang family Xuanwu immortal domain and promise not to attack the 9-state anymore. I will also make you the true owner of the 9-state and even open a pathway for ascension. All you need to do is agree to my conditions." But how could I be fooled by this cunning woman's sweet words? I responded with a simple international gesture. Did she think I'm a fool? I can see through her intention to kill me. "If you want to fight, stop wasting words. I won't fall for this." Upon hearing my vulgar words, the murderous intent in her eyes became uncontrollable. "Chinchanan, your excessive arrogance will come at a cost. Do you know the difference between the upper realm and the lower realm? It's like the difference between the galaxy and dust." As the woman's words fell, several fireballs appeared out of thin air in the silent sky and rained down indiscriminately on the lower realm, stirring up clouds of dust. "Since I can't obtain it, then let it be destroyed." The voices from the upper realm reverberated with earth-shattering thunderous roars. Suddenly, a burst of power erupted, and bloodshed filled the various states as the earth trembled violently. At the border of Cloud State, people realized that it seemed to be the only safe place within the state, and they rushed towards it. Witnessing the hellish scenes outside of Cloud State, the commoners there finally awakened and turned their gazes towards my back. It was governor of a state who was single-handedly protecting us. The warning sound from the system kept exploding in my mind. "Host, resolve the attacks from the outside domain immediately, or else the 9-state continent will collapse, and the foundation of the Invincible realm will be damaged." I was somewhat amazed by this move from the upper realm. I didn't expect those pests from the upper realm to have some tricks up their sleeves. These attacks were all transmitted from the upper realm, and without finding the source, we couldn't stop them. It seems they found a way to let those pests from the upper realm freely attack the lower realm through some kind of medium. Jiang Xianchu, who was beside me, also anxiously said, "Husband, if it doesn't work, let's take everyone and hide in the mustard seed world to save our lives. Then we can discuss our plan in the long term." Seeing me becoming silent, Jiang Ningran mocked, "Chinchanan, we gave you a choice. It was you who narrowed your path." And she even recognized Jiang Xianchu beside Chinchanan as Jiang family member. Hearing that arrogant woman in the sky constantly belittling me, I transformed into a shadow and instantly disappeared from the spot. The next moment, I appeared directly behind her, grabbing her head in one hand. My sharp blade pierced through her chest. Although Jiang Ningran inwardly sighed at my ruthlessness, she still maintained her stubbornness. The destruction of the nine-state continent is inevitable. No one can save it. But my icy voice exploded in Jiang Ningran's ears. I asked, "You answer. If you say it wrong, you die. Who is the mastermind in the upper realm? Where are they? What treasure are they using to target the nine-state? If your answers don't satisfy me, you'll join them." Jiang Ningran, being a monster who had lived for tens of thousands of years, showed intimacy in her expression. "Do you think I would make the same mistake as slaying heaven and come down to the lower realm in person? Only that idiot would do something like that." Waves of blue light emanated from Jiang Ningran, and her hand touched my cheek. "I have prepared a great gift for you." In an instant, Jiang Ningran transformed into a streak of blue light, enveloping me in searing energy that shook the heavens and the earth. When the explosion dissipated, Jiang Ningran's voice came from above. "Chinchanan, I have taken Jiang family's heavenly arrogance with me. Thank you for your nine-state cauldron." Then, Lin Bao shouted loudly, "Master, your little wife is disappearing." Jiang Xianchu looked at the changes happening around her, countless memories flooding into her mind. Tears streamed down her face. It turned out that she didn't belong to this world, but she didn't want to go back to her original place. Then, with reluctance, she looked up at the sky and softly called out, "Husband." A gem fell from the place where Jiang Xianchu disappeared, and I instantly appeared to pick it up. Seeing the situation turning bad, Lin Bao panicked and sought my help, but I didn't pay any attention. I quietly looked at the gem in my hand, then gazed coldly at the sky. "It's not over yet, immortals.